Hi, my name's Tom, and today I'm in Eastbourne and with Joseph.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about basic employment rights in coincidence with the ACAS Code of Conduct. So, Joseph, what is your experience have you had? So, the reason why we're here.
So I first started off in my company. I had a bit of an issue at work. I initially raised a grievance. It was quite a frustrating, but also, I think at the same time, complicated time for me. I didn't really understand what was going on. There were quite a few issues involved, and I didn't really have much knowledge or input on the actual matter until I was approached by my area organiser.
Okay, so just to give you a good example, so there's going to be two big differences between disciplinary and a grievance. So a grievance is one where you yourself, as an employee, puts against any manager or the employer. A disciplinary is something where the manager goes and puts an issue against the employee. So the employer put an issue against the employee. It's just a basic gives you an answer. So what actually happened then? What was the procedure they put you through?
So basically what happened to me, Tom, was they raised an initial grievance against me.
Yeah.
And this was regarding a matter that had previously unfounded, which I wasn't actually aware of. So at the time, I was obviously quite distressed about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on whatsoever. I then was very, very fortunate to be part of the trade union, which obviously helped me hugely in regards to getting where I wanted to be.
Yeah. So what was the role of the trade union in that position? What did they help you?
So the trade union helped me massively. My area organiser was absolutely fantastic. She explained everything that was going to happen, simplified it into the steps in what I needed to find out. And I think at the same time it gave me the reassurance to move forward and to be quite strong in this grievance that was raised against me.
What would you have done if you weren't a member of trade union?
To be honest, Tom, I really don't think I would be where I am now. I think I probably would have given up to any extent. The outcome could have been quite severe for me, and I think at the end of the day, you can't afford to be without a trade union. I think a trade union is the be-all and end-all. It's an absolutely fantastic place to be, and that's my solid view on it.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks so much. I do appreciate your time again.
You're welcome.
So, basically, to give an idea about the procedure is that any type of manager will take you into a meeting where there'll be two managers or more if you're given disciplinary. So there's two big differences between a formal and informal chat. So a formal one is one where they just simply have a manager one-to-one, have this formal chat, and there's nothing written down. This is a big crucial detail, is that if anything is written down, it's likely to stay on your employment contract and history. So anything they start writing down, with two managers or more, I would start having alarm bells going ahead in your head. And with any type of trade union, if some workplaces allow trade unions to be involved from any procedure if there's two managers or more. But we're going to go on the basis of the ACAS Code of Conduct, which is a middle ground for employers and employees and gives a basic underlining level of where the employer has to go and have a base line on it. So they have to go and stick to these laws. So the ACAS Code of Conduct gives you a set amount of rights. So it gives you the right to make a complaint about the employer, and it also gives you the right for the employer to give a complaint about the employee. So in this procedure, under ACAS, the employer has to go and take the employee into a room and then give a certain amount of steps to go and take towards before any sacking or any dismissal of their employment. So, for instance, this instance, you were being disciplined, weren't you?
That's correct, Tom.
So did they take you into a room at all?
Yes, I was taken into a room by a manager, and obviously it was quite a distressing time for me.
Brilliant. So the union will be there to help represent you and make sure that you're treated fairly and equally. So this can go and be outlined. So every step of the way, there will be different levels of representation depending on the issue that's related to. Now again, if you have any issues or any comments you want to say about this video, please go and put a comment down below and we'll try and answer the questions as much as we can. If we can't, I do apologise, but we'll try and do our best. But again, we can't go and help you on an individual basis to be able to go into the room. So in this case, Joseph, you had your union rep come into the room with you to represent you and make sure you're treated fairly and equally. And how much of a support was that as a rep?
The support was absolutely fantastic. I really couldn't recommend it enough for what you pay, which is obviously your membership each and every month to the trade union. It's a fantastic cause, but also it just gives you peace of mind. Obviously, it's unlimited uses. You can use it as and when you need. And the great thing is, you know, the support's always there. It's not just face-to-face. You can support either via phone, email, social media, anything like that. And I think the great thing more than anything is it just gives you that peace of mind. It's a bit like insurance. You hope you're never going to use it, but when it comes in use, it's very, very handy, and it gives you peace of mind.
The one thing with disciplinaries and grievances is that they can go and raise up to the very highest level of being a European Court of Justice. And there was one recently with European Court of Justice with BT. There's some of the big companies that have gone to there. But there's a big gap between some of the big European Court of Justice to a simple grievance. And there's usually trying to get them all resolved in between times. So they'll give you an idea about the different levels between a simple grievance on disciplinaries where you're in a meeting with 2 managers and more, and where you can have a rep. This would be the first line, all the way to the European Court of Justice, would be that A, you would first have the meeting. Secondly, it would likely to be a higher management and possibly higher than the managers that are disciplining you first off, and yourself, and this would usually be a paid official due to because of the seriousness of the situation. Then after that, it's likely to become involved with the business involved, so the top levels of management would get more involved. And same again with the union, so more levels of the union would get involved. But if you weren't a member of a union, this would be quite harsh to look into if you weren't a member. To go through this all by yourself, to get the employment law, get the employment advice, where the union can get solicitors to be able to help you out and stuff. And then after that, it would then possibly go into an employment tribunal, which again it costs £1,500 to be able to go to an employment tribunal. And if you want the justice and you're in a small company, how are you meant to get the justice? If we gave an example, so Lord, if you were are you a dad at all, or a parent, or
Not currently, no at all.
Very bad example, but we'll use an example. If you had a kid and you want some parental leave, and because you asked for parental leave, they said no, you're not having that, and you tried to challenge it, and you were left, you were sacked. In this case, if you weren't, you would have to go and know the knowledge, be able to go and take them to court, take them to employment tribunal, put an grievance there again, and also know the knowledge about what law they're going against. At least with the union, you'll be able to help support you every step of the way. And we are both trying to become independent, so we're not going to try and brag about any particular union you should join, because they're going to be all different. But in this case, if you go and if you did have a child that you wanted some leave to go and be able to look after the child, you would have to go and take a disciplinary, grievance, and then you would have to go and look into employment tribunal to be able to pay for it. And if your money is tight, especially if you have a child, you won't be able to afford it. And so where's the justice that comes into it, which is where we're trying to come involved with it. Any other little points that you found that was really, really crucial with if you weren't a member of a union, would it be any help for you?
Well, I think, Tom, if we're looking overall at the General Union and what they offer, certainly in terms of the whole package, what you pay for, your monthly membership, anything that's involved, I think, apart from having the support, knowing that it's available, as I say, it's not just face-to-face, where an area organiser or a rep turns up, they meet with you face-to-face, of course, you outline the entire situation, take as much time as you need, understand everything fully, so it's very much expressed within the opinion of what is actually happening, the general situation, but you can also get them, as I say, over social media, anything involving email, phone, you can get them over the phone, but I think more than anything it offers you the membership there, which really gives you the services. So there's certain other elements that are involved, and it's just peace of mind, to be honest, Tom. It gives you the absolute peace of mind. As I say, it's like insurance, you hope you're never going to use it, but when you do, it really, really comes in handy, and it's peace of mind.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time. We do appreciate it. We'll try and wrap it up because it's nearly getting a bit longer than we expected. So thanks so much for your time. And if you do want to comment or post anything on the comments page, please feel free. We're not posting any particular trade union, and we just want to help you and try and hear your voice. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Thanks so much for your time.